We have a quorum: Jean Connaughton, Sherby Worthing, Sam Corbett, and Sandy Slavin. We are here. We have minutes from January 10th, 24.
Make the motion we accept.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. This is 1/10/24. The vote is 4-0-0. We have pending payments for Sawyer property on $3,900 for surveying and for the purchase of the Marks Cove for $112,734.88. 112,734.88. The grant was for $250,000, but they were able to get a what were they able to get? Partnership grant from the state, and therefore it would just be a portion of it, so we didn't have to pay it all. And I will
112, Sandy, or the 250, the one out of the survey, or just the whole thing?
What?
You said they'd been granted 250,000.
No, CPC granted 250,000, and which they're asking us to pay the 112,000.
Oh, and that's it. Okay.
So far. Who's to say there might be more, but they do have money, so
Okay.
we will be getting some of that back when it's determined the project is all closed and expended. So that's what that is.
Skip the next one.
We have no choice. The grant, we have absolutely no grants for the Springtown meeting. What I do have is,
That's the first.
Isn't that something?
oh, you all have copies, so
Yep.
Yeah.
here.
Did you see my little typo there?
Yes, you do.
Oh, is that the, no,
Yep, that's it. Now, Sherby, you want one to go to the minutes attached?
I
ones?
have a couple of them here.
Okay.
oh, this is the same thing.
Yeah. So what you have here is my attempt to consolidate the articles for town meeting. We have our these are all standard, except for the misspelling of Weeviantic Ridge, but that's another issue. So what we have is that in the past, last year, we estimated 1.6 million, expecting about 500,000 coming from the state. We got 270,000, I think the number was. Way lower than we originally expected. Yeah, 287,000, 27%,
Right.
when we had been running about 50%. So that's a big decrease. Based on that, I figured we'd have a total of 1.2 million, knowing that we'd easily get 900,000 from the town
Yep.
plus interest rates. So I figured that the estimate would be 1.2 million for FY25. So what I did was indicated that my FY25 estimated revenue was 1.2 million, which means we put off 10% for each of the reserves and 5% for administration. I have a note from the town treasurer that we will be paying $250,000 to have the debt payoff for Tremont Nail. That is $250,000 for the debt payment. And the short-term interest would be $15,207.64. Then we have, what we have is the Little Harbor debt principal of $100,000.
Right.
And the interest was $29,200.
We should pay that off.
Well, no,
That's under the
That's-
town budget. How does that work? Are we still
Oh, yeah.
paying it?
we're still paying it. But I think we've got 5 or 6, 10 years ahead of that. That
that's
debt was
a drop
over
in
$1
the
million.
bucket. Yeah.
So unless Mr. Foster says something differently, Now, what they've done, it was last year and we'll do it this year, it will go into the town budget.
Want to answer it? Consider it an emergency.
Yes? I think my phone is in the car. Bye. I'm in a meeting. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. So last year, they felt that there could be some issues with carrying it as a separate CPA article. There could be someone willing to put it on town meeting floor and deny payment, which would put us in deep problems. So what they did was put the interest in principal payment as part of the standard town budget. It is up to CPA funds to pay it, but it would be passed with a total town budget as the safest place to put it.
You can still call a line item out.
Yeah, they could, but
Okay.
they could,
Really?
but that was, that,
Whoa.
they did not last year, but
They haven't done
since,
it for a while, but
Ooh, that,
We-
years past, it was pretty common.
but they, so
they could.
the intent again is to put it in the town budget, indicating it, I've said that all of those that I just talked about would come out of the FY25 estimated revenue. It totals just over $814,000 out of our expected 1.2. We will guarantee at least 900,000 from the town. So we know we're going to cover our 1.2, which gives a balance of $385,000 available for FY25 estimated revenue. Historically, we have not chosen to use that estimated funds for any project or anything else like that. It was only seems to be used for interest, principal, and reserves. Then in special spring town meeting, we are going to pay down the Tremont Nail debt. And so there is a pay down of $76,000 in spring town meeting. By doing special spring, it occurs before it occurs in FY24.
Correct.
Special spring allows us to expend the funds before the end of the fiscal year, which is the difference then from annual. So that debt pay down and Tremont Nail band and short-term interest would come out of unallocated funds, which have been verified from FY23
Yep.
as available. So the interest would be $19,937 and change, and the debt pay down would be $76,000. What this means is that between that payment and special spring, we'll have closed off that debt for Tremont Nail, and that was done for the contamination, the cleanup of the property. So what happens is then, doing some research, we had closed out 4 projects, of which those monies, because they're closed out and complete, will be returned to our coppers. You have the Wee Wee Antic Ridge, which was $44.75. That was done in FY21, in spring of 2012. That was set aside for a parking area off of Blackmore Pond Road.
Right.
It's never been done, and it's hard to believe that we are going to do a parking area for the same price 10 years ago. So it's just close it out. If we need parking, we can put out a new grant for it. Swiss Beach Engineering, this has nothing to do with the playground. This is Swiss Beach Engineering. Part of it is to have that bridge go over the mosquito runoff there. So we have a balance of $889 left on that particular grant. The dog park has $20.76. I thought when we paid the invoice for the dog park, we had used every penny, but we were off $20. But that will come back to the open space reserve. The mobility maps are all done and complete, and we have a balance of $3,101.10. And that will come back into allocated funds. So to me, these are all the expenses, all the articles I see for special spring and spring town meeting. What is left to do is, once you've approved this, I will work on the actual articles. I don't have them completed, and I will not have them completed by the time we have another meeting.
Can you combine these 4 projects at the end, or will you have to have a separate?
No, all of them will be returned on one article.
Okay.
They will be
Right.
called out at each individual, but it will be included in one article, and more than likely will be put on the consent agenda. There's nothing
Yeah.
here to me that would be, everything to me would be on the consent agenda, but I'm
Right.
not the moderator to make that decision. But
Also talking about a very small amount of money,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
$1,100.
Will this be distributed also, this list?
no,
It will not, okay. Thought it will with the minutes.
in so much as it will be part of
The overall.
the overall. You'll see that as we do a report we do every year.
Okay.
It will be consolidated as to what we'll be doing it. But to me, the only thing I didn't realize until I looked at the minutes that I was supposed to get a hold of the Housing Authority to talk about their outstanding.
Yeah, we discussed that last meeting.
I know, and I didn't think it was my task until I read the minutes, and I said, no, I didn't make that happen. So we have outstanding, the Agawam Village has $52,000 unused for the Agawam Village Building 1. I think it was something to do with the water pipes or something else underneath the building. What I need to do is give you and Paulitis and Jackie a copy of that article to see the detail that was done when you requested a $59,000 grant request. And the only thing I think was $6,400. It was a while ago. So everything
We've
else.
talked about this more than once.
Yes.
So is this to come back? Or?
No, nothing. I did not follow through because I forgot it was my task to do. So I didn't finish. I did the other 4.
So that's in Agawam.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You
Building
need the
1.
money, don't you? Gee.
Who's to say
Oh,
that?
But it has to be done by now. They were working on it a year ago.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna talk about the new units we were building.
No. That,
But they're done, but now
You got the sewer
he was
finally.
hassling with the sewer.
Yeah.
Finally got them the other day.
Right.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, can you still get those 2 units for $650,000?
God knows.
Who knows? I know it's been a
But I'll
while.
find out and I'll let you know.
All right, so
We have more money available
2
also
units.
for another request.
Do you?
Oh, we need.
That's up my alley, because I'm
Nothing.
still mad at the governor and everybody in there. They- When we wanted to add more units
Mm-hmm.
when we first got started, and that was when that horrible lady, anyway,
Oh, yeah.
they wouldn't give us a cent. In fact, I was going to all the meetings,
It's
and the
unfortunate.
smaller cities or towns, they won't give you a dime. So you can't expand, so that's why we come in and look for money, because we
Yeah.
don't have any choice.
It's
And here we have,
unfortunate.
do you know how many people come in every day and they're crying because we don't have any place to put them? It's sad.
It is, especially when they talk about affordable housing constantly.
Yeah. Well, hey, Milton.
What they
happened
should
with the
do
Milton
is
vote?
include mobiles.
Excuse me for
If they
interrupting.
did that, that would be a great thing to do.
You know
And
about
they're
put it
finally
on the
talking,
table.
they're finally talking about
the
it.
Massachusetts vote, the multifamily housing now going into towns like
Well,
Brookline, Newton. But Milton said yes, and then they said no. So
that's nothing to do here, but
I
it's
know,
one of
but
those
it's a
things, because
major-
Ken Buckland has reviewed it. If we became,
on the
with our
transportation.
train stop here, he believed we meant the qualification of having affordable housing within a distance of a commuter rail site that the state's requiring, and that's what they're talking about, is making
Yeah.
affordable housing units within an X percentage,
transportation.
extra
Right.
distance from a train stop, but that's,
But we're pretty far, well, we still, people would be commuting to Boston, so.
you know, but we doesn't look like we're gonna get a commuter rail here
For
in
a while.
Wareham because it went to New Bedford and Fall River. Okay, so would
Okay.
someone like to accept this list of articles for spring and special spring?
Make a motion to accept all 4 articles.
I have a motion
I'll second
and a
it.
second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
400, that's it. Now, this came in the mail. I thought I'd pass it around. It is a thank you note from the DPAW.
It's cute.
It's just a thank you for CPC for funding their
Okay.
project to do the dog park.
This is really
Nice
nice, it
pictures.
doesn't normally happen.
Right.
Oh, I miss having a dog. I love having a dog.
I'll let you borrow one.
You want a dog? Ours didn't want to walk on the snow last
My husband won't let me have
night. To
one.
go pee.
I have a dog and I babysit for 3 other dogs.
One of my sons had 3 dogs, and 2 of them, after 15 years, have passed away, so they're down to 1. But she's looking for another dog.
I got my dog, I babysit for her,
I love
brother,
them.
sister, and nephew.
What, are they breed, a certain breed, or?
It's very funny, that's pretty.
What was I gonna ask you?
A48?
Deep.
Did
Just-
I ask a
Does
question
anyone
about
go
that
to the
commuter
park with
rail?
their dogs?
And you're saying that we need, if we were to get it, we had to have the portable housing close by?
Yes.
And we don't think we have a place for it?
No,
No,
Ken Buckland said that we meant the criteria for the state
Oh,
for
okay.
can
having
inventory all the housing around the
train
the
stop.
radius, whatever, and he thinks we're in good shape.
Okay, because I was thinking, when you come out of Great Neck Road, and you have that horrible looking area there at the, and we could get rid of that with it, it's the old train station was there for
Well,
onset.
they are working on that
What,
again.
you-
And if they could tear those
Would you like
buildings
to
down,
include this?
they could build some housing there.
Mhm.
It
But
would be, look a lot better.
there you go.
Would you like this to go with the minutes?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So I just want to
And-
acknowledge the thank you note from DPAR, and
Yeah.
we will include it in the minutes as one of the documents that we covered. Anything else? Any other new business? Can you think of when we would meet again? I'm disappointed we had no grant requests.
I'm gonna work on
After
that.
that wonderful video, what's wrong with people?
I know.
Come on.
Well, I know that we're going to get something to do with town hall, but I haven't seen anything yet. But
There's
it's,
2 projects I want to bring up to the Lands Trust. Yeah,
okay, I mean, it's hard to believe that,
Yeah, the land trust usually has something.
well, they just finished 2 projects. I
Oh,
mean, with
that's true.
Sawyer,
They've been-
Sawyer in
and
one
Mark's
town
Cove.
meeting and in Mark's Cove Vista in the other,
I walked there today.
you know, that's pretty nice.
Hmm.
You know,
It
so.
is.
Can you think of anything else we should be covering?
We've done it all. We're ready.
May I ask a question that's not related to the agenda, but does anyone have information on the status of the golf course? The septic system, because somebody asked about that, or are the finances coming into the town?
I was
as
thinking the same thing
anticipated?
today. How come we haven't got any report from the golf course as to what we've had for revenue? Nothing. I was thinking the same thing. How do I ask for it? You know, so I was about to write an email to a select person to say, hey, where is it? The town should be given an update.
I agree.
Definitely. Somebody
Since
needs
it's
to
our
follow.
funds, but because
funds.
it's,
Call John.
because it is a town project, we can't have them sign the grant agreement that we have with everybody else. Cause it's town entity, but would have been nice if someone would come to us and say, okay, this is how much we've spent, this is how much we made, this is how much we cleared, this is what's
Blood,
happening
sweat,
with the
and tears
septic
was shed,
system,
too,
you
over
know,
the
and
whole
what's
thing.
happening. Nothing. It's a blank, it's a hole. It's
I know Mark Rasmussen's working on the whole new septic plan down there.
Well, they
with
haven't
the
come,
nitrogen, but not so far. They're working with the state, I think, to get something approved.
I don't know, but
Rather
to me,
vague.
I think it's gotta be a little bit better than a Title V nitrogen reducing.
Oh,
There
yes.
are, it's so wet down there,
Oh
they
my
have to be
gosh.
very careful because another house down there had what is referred to as a birthday cake, layering.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they were trying to see what happened
Oh,
to
if
that.
that one
It
works
it was
well.
off a Maritime Drive that went in as a special
Okay.
test
Yeah.
septic system, so I don't know what it is, but no one's come
Christie
before
would go.
conservation on it,
You
and
want
to
me to
me,
make calls on that, on the golf course?
Yeah.
if, it would be nice if somebody was to report, even if it said go to the selectmen's and put on the agenda to be a report of what it is, or at town meeting, because we've got
Should
money
we-
in it, and to me, I
Should we
think
say that we would like an update?
we would love it, I would like an
Maybe
update
we'd
of the
like-
status of the golf course, for income
Yeah,
and
because
expenses
we're gonna make-
status. How many people played? Because, I mean, we put the money in it, I mean, that was a tough nut for us, that was a lot of money for that debt.
But it's well worth it.
Yes, it is, no
It's
answer
certainly been
question about
used.
it,
Thank
All
God
the
for the
time.
CPC.
yes. So,
They seem to be, even the warm days, they sent notices out
Yeah.
and people could play the last few
Oh, it's
days if
been
it was,
used up.
if it got
It's
into the
amazing.
Does
late,
anybody have anything else for the meeting?
on the forties.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion,
I'll
and I have
second
a
it.
second, all in favor? Aye. What time is it?
6:30,
So it was 20.
6:31.
31.